So you're a mom, and it's the 1950s, and you need to feed your family, and it's got to be a kid-friendly recipe. What do you make? And who are these kids in my kitchen? Hey everyone, welcome to YesterKitchen, where we learn history through food. I'm Jill, and before we do anything else, hit that subscribe button. It's right down there. I see it. You see it, right? It's right there. Yep. Trust me, you'll want to do this. So, who are these guys? Well, this is Alec.
Hi, I'm Alec.
And this is Kiana.
Hi.
And they have a channel called A&K.
Yes.
And it's adorable. Do you want to tell everybody what it's about?
So our channel it's a couples channel. It's both of us, A&K, Alec and Kiana. So creative.
I know, so unique.
But we do like vlogs, challenges, pranks, bean videos. I mean, that's pretty much it. It's, I don't know, a wide variety. It's like sometimes it's walking around with the camera, doing what we're doing, or it's specifically themed vlogs, like we're gonna be at Disneyland, or challenges with our friends. We do mukbang videos. Jill's actually one of our mukbang videos, so you can go check that out.
Well, you should probably tell them, because my audience tends to be a little older.
Oh.
What's a mukbang video?
All right. So, in the 1950s, you make your food, right? So a mukbang is basically you take food, and generally it's like a lot of food, and you sit down and prop up your phone, camera, iPad, whatever you record on, and you eat and talk to the camera. I don't know. I mean, it sounds a little
Korean talking show to be exact.
It sounds strange, but once you actually do it, it's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Yeah, so we do that every Monday, and then our other videos come out like every other day, or sometimes back to back, or sometimes there's a little gap because we're in college, so we need extra time to do stuff. But we are here with Jill.
They are, and we're actually making the food that we're going to eat when we do the mukbang after this. So you're going to see, you can go to their channel and see the culmination of our eating and talking, but right now we're going to make the food. So we are going to make something called a super burger. Not super burger, but super burger, because it's made with a can of soup, right? And by the way, I've known this guy since he was about probably lower than the, lower than the, you can see him right now.
Yeah.
So good friends with his parents, watched him grow up. Now he has a girlfriend and a channel, and I'm totally excited. So Super Burgers were fast, easy, economical, delicious, kid-friendly, especially because it involves a can of vegetable ABC soup. So like, what kid doesn't want letters in their dinner, right? Okay, so Kiana is one step ahead of us. She's already taken a pound of ground beef and cooked it all up and drained the fat. And you did a fabulous job, by the way.
Thank you.
Right, so now that it's all, and then in advance, this is going to make 6 sandwiches. So we've already toasted 6 hamburger buns. It's kind of a version of a sloppy joe. All right, so now that you've done that, why don't you guys switch?
Oh, thanks.
And Alec is going to add all the things to it, which is not a lot. It's really an easy recipe. It's a kid-friendly recipe, and kids can make it for their parents. So we're going to add 1 can of vegetable soup with the ABCs. Hello.
I'm not a cook, okay? I eat the food.
See? You're doing great. Do you need a spoon?
Sure.
Try it from inside. There you go.
Can I leave?
No.
I leave right now.
No. Perfect. It's going to taste good.
Can you eat it like straight out of the can?
You can. I mean, it's condensed, so you add water to make it thinner, but yeah, you can. Okay, then we're going to take 2 tablespoons of ketchup. Perfect.
Should I use a spoon?
We need the magic of the spoon again.
Yeah. I know not to hit this one.
Thank you very much. I need them. So I have other guests lined up to come visit me in the kitchen. So if you're liking guests at YesterKitchen, let me know, because I've got some more fun people ready to go. And we're going to do 1 tablespoon of just regular standard yellow mustard. And then you're just gonna mix it up.
With this one or that one?
This one.
Okay.
You know why? Because it's just so much farther away from the heat. It's just easier to work with. I'm gonna turn that fire down. And then we're gonna mix it, and it's gotta kind of simmer for 10 minutes. So I'm gonna let Alec finish stirring that. We're gonna let it simmer for 10 minutes, uncovered, low heat, and we'll be right back. Hey, we are back! Right? So we have this simmered for 10 minutes, and look, it's perfect. It's just all mixed together and happy and doing the happy dance. And now what we're gonna do is we've got 6 burger buns, which are toasted. Do you guys know why we toast them?
Because they taste good.
They do, but they also create this like barrier when it's toasted. Well, you know what toast looks like. And that kind of prevents the meat from sogging up the bread. It's like you kind of like have a layer. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna turn off the stove. And Kiana is gonna put, whoa, sorry about that. Put enough on each to make 6 sandwiches. And while she's doing that, we have your average run-of-the-mill American cheese in the plastic wrap. I already did some, see?
Nice and processed.
Totally processed, because that's what we did in the 50s. Actually, everything. I mean, that's the extent, like I talked about in another video, the reason the 50s were so canned and frozen is because it was the era of convenience, and everyone came back, all the guys came back from World War II for fighting, and they married and settled down. But a lot of the women who were working during the war stayed working, so now they had to work and they had their family, and so they had to come up with really quick and easy dinners, and all the food companies jumped on that bandwagon, and they started creating all these convenience foods, and they all started making cookbooks. You know, here's how to make it easy. So see, learn something every day.
Exactly.
Okay, so now we've got that, so we're gonna push that away. And I'll stick that in there, even though I told Alec not to. And now we got the cheese. Flip. Up, flip.
Flip. Musical chairs.
Okay. And a piece of cheese goes on every one, and we're gonna stick it in the broiler for no more than 30 seconds. So, and literally babysit it, or you're gonna have some burnt cheese. So Alec is gonna go ahead and put that in the oven and watch it. And hopefully we'll come back with melted cheese and not black cheese. But you can hold it right now because it's not hot. Oh, the oven's over there.
Oh.
All right, we'll be right back. Okay, so now we're back, and take a look at that. All the cheese is melted. Everything just looks so happy. So now all that's left to do, and if you want to put ketchup or mustard or pickles on it, go for it. But all that's left to do is pop it up. Oh, that's a burnt bun. Let's not do that one. Let's not do that one. There we go. Pop the bun. Put it on your plate and give it to the kids, and everyone's happy. So, favorite food memory?
Favorite food memory? So, my grandma, who passed away a few years ago, every holiday season, she would make pumpkin bread, and it didn't, I don't know why she called it pumpkin bread. It didn't, wait, no, what's pumpkin bread? Yeah, it was pumpkin bread, but it didn't taste like pumpkin bread. It had like a hint of pumpkin, but it had like chocolate chips in it, and it was like super like smooth on the inside. And every year she would make it for like Thanksgiving, only one loaf for Thanksgiving or Hanukkah, and then like everyone at the table would only get a slice. And I remember one year I was like, I might have been like 8. I went up to her Thanksgiving morning and I was like, Nana, please make one for me, because like I wanted to bring it home, so she made my family like a separate loaf just for us. So those were always so good. And every time we've tried to like recreate it, it's always been good, but it's never like
it doesn't have the love.
Yeah, so.
I knew his grandma. She was lovely.
Yes.
She is missed. Aww. Favorite food memory?
I mean, I thought mine was kind of cool, but that was better. I would probably say I'm adopted, so I live with my grandma, and she used to make all the time this spaghetti sauce with meatballs and pork in it and sausages and all that stuff.
Everything.
And she actually learned it from her mom that actually grew up in Rome, Italy, So it's actually like, yeah. I mean,
That's
totally
awesome.
cool, and it's delicious. And every single time we would like make it, I would have her like throw in a couple meatballs for me. Oh my gosh, it
That's
was
awesome.
amazing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Your favorite food memory?
Yeah, your favorite food memory as a child.
Ooh, I'm caught. My favorite food memory. I know, right? It's like I ask everybody else questions. I never
Yeah.
answer them. One of my favorites was my mom's brisket. It was actually pretty magical. So yeah, and now my kids, I make it for my kids, so it's kind of cool.
Passing it
I
on.
love
Passing it on. That's how recipes stay alive.
Mhm.
So learn how to make the bread. All right, so if you want to see how part 2 of this goes, check out A&K. I'll put the link below so you can click on it and find our mukbang.
Yes.
Yes. And we're gonna go eat all of this now. And by the way, I'll be serving it with tater tots because tater tots were invented in 1953. So it's kind of, all works together. And if you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button. And don't forget, first of all, thank you.
Of course.
And thank you.
Of course.
This was awesome.
Thank you.
I love it. Love all around. So don't forget, history has never tasted so good.